I'm actually happy. I'm so happy right now. It's been a minute since I did a virtual vlog, and somebody requested in the comments, saying that can you do a virtual vlog? And I'm like, yes, because, one of my favorite talents is talking. I lied. I hate talking, actually. Um, wow. Am I still nervous? Yes, bro. I'm still nervous. But we're going to get into this, honestly. I'm actually excited though. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. But we're gonna get into it. Let's get straight into this, okay? Um, first thing first, I want to say is a lot happens in 8 months or in a year. A lot can happen in 8 months in a year. The last time I put out a virtual vlog was what's it called? 8 months ago, right? And before I edit this video and before actually I didn't even plan on vlogging at all. So you're gonna see some clips of me just like using phone clips to like, put it in there just to act like it's a vlog. But I wasn't even planning on vlogging. But then at the same time I was like, I need to end this year with the update. You feel me? So I was like, you know what, before I drop this last video for the year, let me go rewatch my last virtual vlog and see why I like this so much. And one thing I noticed, and I did get a lot of messages from people, was that a lot of people related to the message. And I'm so happy that you guys related to the message, because it made me understand that I wasn't the only person feeling that way. I wasn't the only person going through that. And it's not always a bad thing to be vulnerable and tell people what's going on in your life and how you're feeling. And it don't hurt to share a little. So I was like, you know what? Let me rewatch this video and actually piggyback from it. So I watched the video and I did want to explain how I felt. I'm going to just point out certain things that I remember saying and how I felt. And then to us, I'm going to explain how my life has changed drastically. I'm going to tell y'all right now, in the span of 8 months, my life has changed drastically. Like, actually, you guys, y'all already saw how my life has changed drastically in 8 months. Yeah, I vlogged everything crazy that happened to me. Like, I traveled, I went to a fashion show, I went to concerts, my money went up, my life went up. It's just crazy, but we're gonna get into it. Okay, so the first thing I talked about in the video was how I felt emotionally drained, right? And it was because, I was there for a lot of people more than I was there for myself. And I did explain a lot of things in details, as you guys can see or you heard. And I'm going to explain how, that changed drastically and the things that I was able to do. I'm not sure if I should do points after point. I think I'm going to do points after points because I'm going to keep track. So back to what I said. The first thing I said was I felt like I was emotionally drained because I was there for other people more than they were there for me. And honestly, it was so true. And I've learned accountability so much this 8 months that it's just crazy. The first thing I had to admit to myself was it was absolutely nobody's fault for how I was feeling, where I was in life, and what was going on in my life. Excuse my voice. I'm just, getting warmed up. But it was nobody's fault that I felt drained. Let's put that out there. I know I did say that, I felt like I had people's back, but they didn't have my back, which is true. The truth is there, but it was nobody's fault but mine. I put myself in that position. I got so comfortable with being there for people and neglecting myself. And that was the first thing that had to stop. And the reason why I neglected myself was because I found comfort in being around people so much, because it made me forget about the things that I had to deal with myself. Whew. Like, I really found comfort in with being with other people, whether it was relationship, friendship, whatever. I found comfort in that, which helped me forget about what I need to do. I'm that type of person that I will forget about my problems by focusing on somebody else's problem. And I'm not also trying to beat myself up and be like, yeah, you're stupid for doing that. No, we're not doing that here. We're loving ourselves and the stuff this way as possible, but we're also holding ourselves accountable. And one step that I took from switching from, that stage of being there for people but not for myself was sitting in my dirt. What I mean by sitting in my dirt is I learned to be alone even though I didn't want to be alone. I learned to go out even though I didn't want to go out. I learned to do certain things on my own even though I didn't want to do it at all. So I had to do the uncomfortable, lonely things. Lonely, okay? Like, after I dropped that vlog or that virtual vlog, I lost two important people in my life, and it was, and I didn't, it's not like I lost them, like, God forbid, they're still alive. It's like I was moved away from those two people in my life, and it was so freaking hard, y'all. It was so freaking hard because I've known those two people half of my life. So it was like, imagine that drastic change, bro. Just imagine that drastic change. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, F this people. I didn't need these people. Yes, I needed them. Yes, I loved them from the bottom of my freaking heart. Those were the two people that I loved so dearly. So just imagine the real power it took for me to go from that to being completely alone. And also, I had this bad habit of keeping myself busy so that I don't deal with my emotions, and keeping myself busy or meeting new people or rushing into new relationship, whether it's friendship, romantically, so that I don't have to deal with my dirt. I cut all that off, y'all. Like, I was lonely to the T. Okay? And that was one way I was able to take myself from, actually, that was one way of me holding myself accountable. Like, bro, at the end of the day, you got to learn how to be alone. You got to learn to be comfortable with yourself alone. You got to learn how to sit in your emotions. You got to learn how to talk to yourself. You got to learn how to love yourself more. You got to learn how to put yourself first. You got to learn how to be your own favorite person. You got to learn how to wake up in the morning and be like, I love me first before I love anybody else. Because at the end of the day, me loving somebody else before me, that kind of love will never last. And we all know that. We all freaking know that, So that was one way I was mentally drained, and I learned what was draining me, and I reversed it and solved it. So the next thing I realized was I wasn't very content with myself. I was that person that was moved whenever somebody enters their life. Meaning, I revolve my life around those people. Like, if somebody comes into my life and give me the slightest good treatment, right, I start to be head over heels and be in love and be happy and be like, oh, I found my friend, or I found my soulmate, and this and that, just from the bare minimum. And as time goes by, I also started to learn about my traumas as well. Learning about yourself is so important. In the past 8 months, I've learned about every single trauma that I've had that was caused when I was a kid, that was caused by my environment, my family, my parents. And I was very neglected as a child. So therefore that results to me feeling how do you say that word? Feeling like just the bare minimum was the best thing in the world. Somebody can literally come into my life and I revolve my life around them because I wasn't content with myself. Like, I wasn't solid with myself. I wasn't that person. Like, if you come into my life, nothing is going to change. You're just going to add on to my happiness. I was that person that person becomes the happiness, and I had to stop that. I had to really stop that. And another way that I learned, a way that I learned how to stop that was literally learning about my trauma. When you learn about your trauma and learn the things that you went through, why, it's not necessarily why you went through it, but learning what you went through and how it gets triggered, you start to learn how to manage it, learn how to spot it fast, and learn how to be aware of it. And I tell y'all right now, I'm a whole different person now. Like, now I don't stop whatever I'm doing just because somebody came into my life, So yeah, that was another thing that I did to get myself out of that mental dryness. So it was multiple things, but those were the two top things that helped me elevate from that situation. So we're going to go into when I said that my life wasn't my own. So the next thing I mentioned in the vlog was my life wasn't my own. And what I meant was I wanted to go out. I wanted to explore. I wanted people to see the other side of me that they've never seen before, that I have, but I couldn't show it, And again, I did it. The crazy thing is, it was just a lot of, I used to be that type of person, was a lot of pointing fingers at other people. Understand, at the end of the day, there's always going to be messed up people in the world. Family, friends, relationship, all that stuff. At the end of the day, you can do the blaming game all you want. The only person that you're hurting bad is yourself. Nobody else. Absolutely no freaking body else. And I realized that in that video, that was like I said, that my life was in my own. I wanted to go out and explore the world and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And my excuse was I wanted to do it with other people, but people don't want to do it with me. Okay, and when I learned to be alone, it forced me to explore and be the person and create the life that I wanted. I kid y'all not. I started going out on my own. I started forcing myself. At the end of the day, the life that you want is not just going to get up and come to you. I had to tell myself that. It's like me asking for food and just laying in my bed and not speaking or taking any action to get the food. I know it's a dumb thing to say or a dumb comparison, but it's true. I felt like my life was in my own, but I was never taking any freaking action. I was always waiting for somebody. And when you become very content with yourself and you force yourself to live the life that you want, the right people will come into your life. So that leads to my next point. I started going out by myself, being content with myself. It was going out to a restaurant or going shopping or just going to the mall or something, right? As time went by, I reconnect with a good friend. As you guys can see, I went everywhere with her this summer. I reconnected with a good friend on a different level, and come to find out she was on the same level or the same vibration, she was just aligned with me. How was I able to attract her? By forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone and realizing that, bro, your life is not your own. Cool. I'm sorry that's happening. But you got to get up, sis. You got to put in the work. You got to be uncomfortable. You have to be uncomfortable. After that, I attracted her into my life and things just changed drastically for me. Drastically. When I tell you guys I was outside, I was outside, okay? And it was just so crazy to me. This is my favorite part of the vlog. I think we're getting towards the end, so I need to wrap this up. But it's going to get to a point where I just start dancing. And this is where I'm telling y'all, I learned how to be so content and enjoy my company so much. Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, I was so happy by myself, bro. And back to what I was saying, life is just on a different level for me. I don't wait for nobody or nothing. I put everything in my hands. I am the maker of my life. I take the action towards the life that I want. I don't know anything else. I don't have anything else to say, but just to thank God, because I'm not gonna lie, 2022 started off so rough, bro, so rough. And right after that vlog, that virtual diary vlog, everything just skyrocketed because I took the leap of faith by being uncomfortable. Like, financially, your girl is good. Mentally, your girl is good. Emotionally, your girl is good. Like, I'm happy and I'm content with myself because I took that action. I took that initiative. I didn't say, oh, I'm mentally drained because I waited for somebody or I put somebody first. At the end of the day, I'm sorry for the life that you're living or the life that you was put in, but I'm not sorry if you continue to live that way. You are aware of what is going on. This is a note to me, not a note to anybody else. If you relate to this, you relate to this. But you are aware of your environment. Put in work. Go explore. What do you have to lose? I have so many connections now. It's beyond me. I started reading. I started educating myself. I started being disciplined. It's just everything is at your fingertips. Don't be like, oh, I don't have this, or I'm waiting for this, I'm due. You're just making up excuse, and that's what I did my whole entire life. I had that victim mindset, and it was very disgusting. Sorry to say this, but it was very disgusting. You're not hurting nobody but yourself. I used to have this saying to myself, right? And I'd be like, okay, there's two people. There's you and somebody else, right? They're holding a plate or something glass. They drop it and they break it. But you start crying. What sense does that make? You know, stop being so angry. Stop being so sad over other people's decisions and mistakes. It has nothing to do with you at all. I used to be such a victim, like, oh, my parents did this, or my old friend did this, or my family did this, or my cousins and auntie did this. And at the end of the day, I was hurting me. I was hurting JoJo. I was hurting nobody. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. So take control of your emotions. Take control of your life. I am taking control of my life, on a drastic level. In 8 months, my life changes so drastically. In other people's eyes, to be like, oh, you're just doing the regular. But I'm in competition with myself. And last year, I was far from this environment. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching this video. It's ending very, very soon. But I hope y'all enjoy this. And next year is going to be a different ball game. Bye.